Hi, I'm Johnny John. Reincarnation is the belief that there are many lifetimes, that there is a life after death, which means that before this lifetime, you would have had many lifetimes already. Today, we're going to explore the concept of reincarnation and a way to help you to discover your spiritual lessons so that you can develop greater happiness in life. Before we begin, I would just like to say that the concept I am about to share with you is not based on any religion or philosophical teachings. Although it may sound similar, it's based on clues that I have gathered from my own experiences of exploring and transforming my own mind. So if you're ready to explore yourself with an open mind, let's begin. In life, we all know from experience that if there is a cause, there will be an effect. When you understand this, you will realize that the mind that you have right now is the result of the journey you have made in the past. This is especially true when we're only talking about this lifetime, because what we will realize with time is that without working on our minds, or going through experiences to transform the mind will stay the same as before. That's why you can always find people who have never changed their ways of thinking, or people who have been angry all their lives. Conversely, the more we work on our minds, the more the mind will change. So a person who works daily on transforming their beliefs will have a more different mind to their past mind. So from this perspective, it's important to work on the suffering states of the mind, because if we don't work on the fears now, it will follow us. If we don't work on the anger now, it will follow us until we work on it. So realize that the mind that we will have in the future will always be determined by what we do with the mind now. Now the question is, how did our suffering states of mind came to be? The cause of the suffering states of the mind will always come from the negative beliefs we have created in the mind, because it's from our beliefs that will determine the quality of our experiences in life. For instance, if you believe that no one really loves you, then no matter who comes into your life, you will always feel unloved. Now this brings us to another question. When did we start creating these beliefs? When we believe in only one lifetime, we can come to the conclusion that these beliefs were created during our childhood experiences. For instance, it may have been the way our parents judged us that made us create the beliefs of unworthiness that we carry even to this day. So looking back at our childhood can give us clues as to the beginnings of our negative beliefs. But if one looks even deeper into the mind, what one will discover is that the patterns for such negative beliefs were already there since the beginning of birth, and the outer experiences were simply acting on the mind to bring it out later in life. This concept can be easily understood if one can understand that everyone is born with an inherent personality and pattern of mind. That is why no two children will adopt the same exact beliefs when given the same treatments by their parents. Thus everyone's potential for different negative beliefs were already there since birth. So now let us look at how this potential came to be. Through the perspective of reincarnation, or through the perspective of cause and effect, you will begin to see that the mind you have right now is simply the mind resulted from a long journey from the past of not just this lifetime, but of many lifetimes before. Every time you came into a lifetime, you simply carried the patterns of the mind developed from the previous life. The patterns of your negative beliefs can thus actually be understood as the spiritual lessons that have followed you life after life that have not been learnt yet. This can be a difficult concept to understand because we all don't have memories of our past lives. But by looking at what deeply seated negative beliefs one carries, one can deduce what kind of experiences one must have endured in past lives for the beliefs to be so deeply rooted within. For example, the fear of being wrong perhaps could have come from some traumatic events in the past, such as being prosecuted or beheaded for doing the wrong thing. These are just some examples of what could have happened. But whatever happened, realize that traumas will always remain as a deep scar in the heart if it's not worked through and healed. That's why sometimes we can experience violent reactions to small things, such as a specific word, specific ways of treatment, specific events, or when we get into specific roles or relationships. This is because outer experiences can help to bring deep scars onto the surface. So to find your spiritual lessons, you can look for areas in life where you simply react violently to small things. Now the next concept may be difficult to accept because what I'm going to say will conflict with a lot of people's beliefs. This is the concept that you would have been the planner of all the events that you have ever experienced, experiencing, or will ever experience in life, even the traumatic experiences. Yes, even the negative experiences. You see, you are in essence the creator of your life. You are the planner of what you wish to explore. Whether it is before, now, or after, it will always be your life. This is your journey. If this life is not yours to explore, then why would you have the free will to make choices, to go left or right, to explore your desires, or to turn away from them? Realize you are the creator of your life. But if you were the creator of your life, why would you have even wished to experience trauma? This can be difficult to understand when we look from below. So let us view what a trauma is from a higher perspective. We are in essence oneness, for that is where we are from. For if we turn back time far enough, we will find that all began from one. And if all came from one consciousness, what is not one? This is the truth that will never change with time. So from the highest perspective that we can view ourselves, we are actually the infinite creator, the infinite consciousness. We are the one, the all there is. To know the self is our journey, and the way for infinity to know itself even more was to explore the infinite possibilities of what it is and what is not. Thus the concepts of separation, or manyness, or individualization are explored. The further you as oneness chose to explore the illusions of separation, the more traumatic the experiences would become. So trauma is simply a part of the journey of self-exploration, the spiritual lessons that you wish to undertake to refine the knowing of who you are even more. So from the highest perspective, you are the infinite creator. Life after life, and life between lives. You choose different ways to explore the infinite possibilities of the self, so that you can know yourself even more. As you are the creator of your life, every time you came into life, you planned for experiences to help you to explore all that you desired. Now some experiences that you are having now may seem undesirable, so undesirable that it can make you wonder why you would have even planned for them to be explored in the first place. But the you in between lives would have memories unbound by the body of space and time. And being pure consciousness, you would have been able to see things differently from a much higher perspective. This more awakened version of yourself would have known what experiences would be needed to balance the traumas you've experienced so that you can heal yourself and remember who you really are, while continuing to explore all that you desired. Like this, the journey is planned, then explored, like a dream that is dreamt until all your dreams are fulfilled. In terms of planning, you would have planned extensively to make sure your life will flow in the direction you desired. Planning would have been necessary, as you knew you would forget who you are as soon as your journey began again. You would have planned who your families would be, of the people you would meet, and in order to do this, you would have planned and made agreements with other creators like yourself. You would also have planned where you will be born, what gender you will take, and how you would look and so forth, which will help you to explore what you desired. To create a more successful journey where you can arrive at desired landings, infinite possibilities of where you will land, this will have been contemplated, while still preserving the free will to choose. So there's really no need to worry about whether you're on the right path or not. For as long as you're actively making choices, you will end up eventually in the desired landings. For you will always be exploring the things you desired, because what you desire to explore now will always be what you wanted to explore. You will always be you, even if you can't remember who you were. In fact, the heart will always remember who you are. And your heart will always be attracted to things in life which will present to you your spiritual lessons. The only difference then really is in the speed in which you explore what you wish to explore, because once you stop making active choices on what you wish to explore in life, or when you desire for something to change outside or within yourself, but you don't make it happen, or when you give up being the creator of your life and let others decide it for you, you will end up exploring like a flat tire. And that is not really exploring at all. One perhaps could say that maybe it's part of the journey, which is to explore depression and repeated patterns. But once your heart has told you that it has explored enough, it's time to inflate yourself and move on to the next landing. So it's important to become aware of the messages from the heart, and the practice of meditation can help you to connect with your heart, because when we think too much with our minds, we can easily lose connection with the heart. So ask your heart what you really desire, and then through asking that desire, ask what is currently stopping you from following through. These will always take you back to your spiritual lessons, towards your fears and negative beliefs. So ultimately, in order to experience greater happiness in life, you will always be taken to enjoy your spiritual lessons. This is how the soul journey flows, in an upward spiral. So to discover your spiritual lessons, you don't actually have to know anything about reincarnation. Just look at your mind right now. Look for the cause of your unhappiness within, and then you will find the lessons to learn in life. So instead of dwelling about what happened in the past, instead of blaming yourself for the mistakes you've done, just realize that everything you have done up until now has always been perfect, so that you can focus on the present moment, because it is here where the greater work towards happiness is, which is in the knowing and working of the mind that you have right now. So I shared with you today my perspective on reincarnation, not to convince you of anything, but rather to share with you my thoughts on where our focus should be if we wish for greater happiness. I shared with you my perspectives, not to belittle you, but to empower you, so that you can see that there really is no such thing as divine punishment or mistakes, for we will always be the creator of our lives. I shared with you my perspectives, so that perhaps it can help you to see that this life that you have right now is truly the life that you wish to explore and work on, so that you can treasure this lifetime, so that you can work on seeing and discovering the treasures waiting to be found inside. At the end of the day, if all the infinite possibilities of what will happen in your lifetime have already been pre-planned, which possibilities you will end up will always be yours to make, because you will always be the creator of your life. And you will always be the creator of the mind that is to come. So if you wish for greater happiness for tomorrow, start planting the seeds for it today, and then with course will come the effect. Remember the power that you have. Remember who you are. You are the creator.